This is like being nibbled to death by cats.
My Little Ponies.
Hello there. Tonight I'm gonna feel alive, and no one won't be acting nice. So baby, go and start a fight. I'm in love with the city lights. Look, I'm enough of a big star. I got my girls and I got my cars. Come on here, baby, be a buzz. Do whatever you want.
It is known.
It is known.
We're back to pop. Whatever I do,
Hello there.
to you, we gotta shut it up. La la la, let's stop, won't stop. Unlock your shop. Whatever you do, not up to you. We gotta shut it up. Today I found out what I want. It's everything I've never had. It's been a lifetime feeling sad, feeling sorry for the things that might make you mad. But I'm back, who's back? Bitch, you went in and sorry. All you do is make people around you damn worried. I know it might sound just a little bit corny. Now I know where I stand. Don't even have a plan. Unlock your shop. We're back to pop. Whatever I do, not up to you. We gotta shut it up. La la la, let's stop, won't stop. Unlock your shop. Whatever you do, not up to you. We gotta shut it up. Just like glue, you'll be someone's too. It's time for you. Just do whatever you want. Unlock your shop. We're back to pop. Whatever I do, not up to you. We gotta shut it up. Let's stop, won't stop. Unlock your shop. Whatever you do, not up to you. We gotta shut it up.
Welcome everyone. Hello, how has your week been? I didn't sleep too well, so you might not get the same energy from me as usual. Yeah, kind of was awake at 5 a.m. today and couldn't go to bed anymore, and I had to go to work in the morning. And yeah, returned from work at about, I think, 4:45. It's 6:15 now. Yeah. We've had a short information dump from vendor. They were talking via what's it called? It's either Teams or something like that. I'm not sure. One of those video conferencing apps. And I had trouble keeping my eyes open. It was just too tempting to just snore off, and well, would have been seen on the camera, so not a good show. But yeah, that's how it goes. That's normal. Well, usually these guys come to the pharmacy in person, but COVID and shit, you know. So we've mostly pushed all that to video conferencing. The problem is when you have 3 or 4 people sitting around a small iPad and you can barely see, so you have to concentrate on the letters and the graphics that are shown, and then you are tired. It's not a great combination, I tell you. If I had a big screen in front of me, this wouldn't have been a problem. But somehow work didn't invest into that yet. Oh well. Yeah, so today is time for a game that I got from, I think, Humble Monthly. I'm not sure actually where I got it. It's called The First Tree. It's like a forest exploration game. And oh no, it was via Epic. Okay, so it was a free game on Epic. Okay, good. Thankfully, I have all my desktop icons sorted by launcher. Therefore, I can find stuff. And yeah, gonna have a look at that. Not sure how this goes. Don't know really what to expect. Saw like 1.5 videos on YouTube, and just to have like a feel for the graphics and everything. Right. And let's have a look at that. Don't think I even made graphics settings for this one yet. Let's see how this goes. Don't think it's a demanding game on my graphics card. If it decides to launch. The LED stripes in the background are new, right? I missed them for ages. They were on last stream as well, so not sure if the one before that. Definitely on Sunday. Not sure if Saturday also. Yeah. So got one of those fancy cycling LED straps, and if I get around to it, I can also program in single colors, but not sure which ones to pick, and therefore I have been cycling through all of them. Right. Press enter to begin. Okay, why is it in German? Can we change that to English, please? This is graphic settings. Okay. Anti-aliasing, please. Windowed mode, yes. So I can go over to my other windows. And back. Okay, are there any other options? No. Okay. Gonna have a look at Epic then. See if I can make this game be English. Name is English, so at least English, I would say. Yeah, I don't know. It could be uncertain of how the game language actually is. At least it's a nice bird chirping in the background. Okay, so I can't access the context menu for this game when it's running. Sorry, better close it for a moment and check the details of this. Okay, so there are no options in Epic to change the language. We'll see. If it's in German, I gotta translate a little, so that's okay. So let's do a new game then. Oh, hasn't picked it up yet. Hello. Also, I hope to find options for sound, because I don't want to have double music or stuff like that. Capture, please. Okay, maybe it's unhappy with window mode for picking it up. Okay, now it picks it up. Right, there we go. Firefox. I don't think there is much language in this game
Are
anyway.
you awake? I thought thought I heard you get up.
Yeah, I'm awake. Sorry, I just can't sleep.
Are you thinking about him?
Yeah, a bit. Usually get back to sleep, my love. I'm fine.
No, it's okay. What else is on your mind?
I don't know. It seems weird, but I had one of the most vivid dreams of my life. I saw a fox on a snowy mountain, just looking confused and worried. Those eyes. I can't get those eyes out of my head. She was running in the windy snow, looking for something.
Do you think it has to do with you and what's been going on?
I don't know. It was just a dream, Rachel. They're not meant to make sense. A lot's happened the past couple days, that's all.
Well, if you're not going to sleep anyway, you should tell me. I want to hear.
All right.
Like a narrative game? Okay. I can't go the other way, so I'm gonna explore a little here and there, see what's what. Male voice reminds me of Leon from Resident Evil. I have not played Resident Evil, therefore I can't confirm or deny that. So it kind of funnels me up the mountain, but first I want to see if there's anything hidden in the side areas. Looks so cute when it lands. Okay, no, there is nothing else to discover back here. Alright. Let's see where this continues. Sun looks beautiful. A little on the minimalistic side, but I don't mind that. And what are we supposed to do? Double jump. Okay. Ah, there we go. We cleared an obstacle. Hell yes. Okay, let's get a better view from up here. Anything relevant? There's something over here. Okay, we don't seem to take fall damage. Good. Note intent. You do anything with that? It's not. Huh. And this is the edge of the level. Okay. Game prevents us from going over the edge, so we don't fling ourselves off a cliff. That's fine. It's a very cute looking game, I must say. I like the graphics. And I've never played a fox before. Oh, there! Well, not every game can have like glitches and shit. Okay, I think I'm supposed to go somewhere so the dialogue continues, so we learn more about what happens. But for now we can admire the scenery and stuff. If you would like me to turn down the music or anything, please let me know, because I can't really say if you can hear the game sounds well enough. I can hear them fine, but I guess the mix might be different. Ooh, that was a good double jump off the hillside here. Okay, very steep. Not sure where to go currently, but I don't think this is where I'm supposed to go. Let's go to the left. I think we were having easier terrain there. Lots of beautiful trees, snowflakes. I love it. Birdies. What's here? Oh! What looks that's dead? How dare you!
She couldn't stay though. She had to find her other 2 children. So she took that path. She followed it towards something ancient. Something with answers.
Strong the long dark vibes, but without the constant fear of dying from hunger and thirst. We'll see. Yes, poor fox.
The fox looked high and low, searching for any sign of her cubs. Points of light showed the way to this ancient tree. It was as if each one had a story to tell, all their own. The land was trying to tell my story too. I felt like I was right behind her the whole time.
I guess this is more atmospheric than music that I have on. And there isn't really any setting for volume. Okay, something's shining here on the hill. Let me see what that is. Ah, there we go. More of these. Okay, so I guess I'm supposed to collect them. Maybe they're like clues or something. Oh, here's a spring toy. Unbroken. That shines. What is it here? Oh no. What's that? Supposed to dig.
As a kid, did you ever do show and tell in your class?
Yeah, I think I only did it once, when I was in the 4th grade. You know how my life was around then. I wanted to show my class what helped pass the time and distracted me. So I brought a dozen paper cranes I had made. I think I told everyone how badly I wanted to be a bird and fly, embarrassingly enough.
Don't be embarrassed. Every kid wants to fly. For me, it was another toy from my dad, a wooden boat. I remember guarding it so carefully in my hands as I walked into class. When I sat down, a group of boys immediately made fun of it. They asked which trash can I found it in, or why an ugly log was my favorite toy. When I got up, I didn't even want to tell them my dad had carved it. I said it was a joke gift my friends had given me.
Kids can be so cruel.
Some of them are. I shouldn't have let them get to me, but it did. It's amazing we bounced back at all.
Not that easy getting in here. There we go. Okay, so there are always spots to discover things. First, I wanna check out what's back there, because that's the area where I came from, right? See if there's anything relevant. But somehow shines through at times, and at other times it doesn't. I think that I missed one. Ah, back there. Hard to notice. It is not exactly an open world, but it is rather vast when we take our size into account. So there are two different spots to check out. Guess this is one more where I gotta dig, and one where I gotta climb up there. Okay, what is that?
Usually those kids would leave me alone, but somehow they could tell I was different. They made fun of how far away I lived. They called my dad a sourdough. I was a blabbermouth as a kid, telling my dad stories I made up for hours. But after that show and tell, I didn't tell him much anymore. He didn't know exactly what was wrong, but his best guess was that the toys he carved weren't cool enough. He carved me a tank. He tried to tell me what it was like to be in a real tank as a serviceman.
I didn't know your dad was in the military.
Yeah, in the army. The sad thing is that I'd pretty much forgotten until just now. There's so much I still don't know about him.
I'm sorry. He knows how much you love him. You're going to see him again soon and have some closure, I'm sure.
Yes, it was. What's this? Rolling ducky. Okay, so do we take fall damage? I gotta try. Oh, we don't. Okay. Good. Whack. Fox is a cat-ish, right? Cats usually don't take fall damage. Not sure actually how the relation is. I think foxes are more closely related to dogs actually. But I may be mistaken. It's been a while since biology classes. If you really want to know, feel free to Google it. Looks rather like a stream. Interesting. Oh, the lighting is so beautiful. Gosh. What is it here? Another toy then?
you remember what my dad did for a living?
Wasn't he like a lumberjack?
That's one way of putting it. If wood was a canvas, then a carving knife was his paintbrush. Even after working a 50-hour week, even after his hands were more splinters than skin, he would bring home the nicest piece of Alaskan weeping cedar and make me toys. That wooden train was the first toy I can remember, and I loved it. I just knew from a young age I was going to be a lumberjack, like my father.
See a light shining through here. Not sure exactly where. More rabbits. Oh, what's this? Like a van. Internet is lying and says foxes are related to dogs, not cats. Time to change some wiki articles. Told ya. There. That's gonna be an interesting jump. This one is floating in the sky. Got it. Right. Where do I go next? At the moment I don't see anything. Ah, there. This guy here is like a painting. Ah, okay, so it's like an episode end here. Alright. Oh. So I guess we found everything in that level. Pretty.
My teenage years were full of sketching, angst, and trouble. I wasn't popular or unpopular. Maybe just forgettable. I guess that gave me a sense of freedom. So I hung out with crazy kids, doing crazy things, even though I mostly just watched the chaos ensue. We did it all. Put fireworks in mailboxes, hide roadkill in people's garages, break windows of the barber shop in Anchorage. My dad was furious, but he was so busy working he couldn't do much to stop me from going out.
I think being an adult means there's no one to stop you making hard decisions. He had to make a living, and he couldn't be in two places at once.
Yeah, I realize that now. But at the time, I was sure he was more interested in growing his business than what was going on with me.
There's something. Such a pretty game, isn't it, right? Why I picked it. I saw such a short video of it and was like immediately, oh boy, gotta play this.
He was working another late night, and my friends were over, saying how bored they were and how they had come all the way out to my house for nothing. One of them mentioned how that old, ugly beyond belief truck was still in the
Hello
garage,
there.
and how we should take it for a spin. I was only 15, so I kind of fought it for a while. The next thing I knew, we were careening around the mountain path, rocks spitting onto the sides of the cliff, while my dad's cringeworthy bluegrass blared out the speakers. I drove while my friends were in the back of that yellow and purple truck, throwing beer bottles and trash at anything remotely interesting. Felt like I was soaring in the air with borrowed wings. But all good things have endings. A cop outside of Eagle River pulled us over after he saw us in a bottle rocket into someone's yard. What followed was a long night of talking to disappointed adults and feeling smaller than ever.
I love how I basically see the right thing in the right moment when the story is about that item. What's this? Water Lake, police station. Looks like missing persons report. Barber shop. Search area. Yeah. Okay, this is a missing persons case here. Are we investigative folks now? Yes. Pretty. Oh, the butterflies are following me now. Huh. No, they don't. Okay. Can I keep them? Or do they stay up here? Ah, so if I jump, they go back. Ah, okay, so it makes for an extra high jump. Nice. Oh dear. Nope. Got that one. Guess I can go up here, right? No? Oh. Okay, so you gotta use the butterflies, otherwise you won't get up there. Yeah. Can't jump at it in the right moment. First of all... Nope. Not it. Okay, so... I'll try this one out again. Butterfly arm. Nope. Jumped past it. Really, it's not easy. But yes, this game is very tranquil. I give you that. Nah. How do I make this? Gotta have that tiny thing. Ah. One of these times I can, I'm sure. There we go. Okay, now I gotta grab that other one too. There has to be a possibility. There. Something's back there. I wonder how I can get there. Let me check the valley first. The lighting. No, I guess it's just stones and trees back here. But before I go too far and leave the area, I guess I need to go back there and check with double jump and butterflies. Oh yeah, up there, I see it now. Such a pretty game. Okay, so where would I go up? What have we got here? Cans? Bottles? Looks like alcohol, maybe? Hard to tell. Foxes can't read and the writing is too small. Can I get up here? No. Not without losing the butterflies. Gotta check out... Right. Lose them with the first. Close, yes. I'm supposed to be up here. Ah. And I can use something like that. Still top dog for frogs. Oh, cute. And is that a volcano beside it? Like hot springs? This looks interesting. Okay. Alright, so we could go down here. Can we get back up is the question. Should we go down here? Oh yes, there is something back there. Hold on. Oh, and here's another one. I'll collect them all. Can I make it up here? Oh dear. No, I'm sliding. Okay, so I gotta find another way to go up there. Of course I can walk past this. It's like keeping me from going up. Guess I'm not supposed to be up here. Is there anything that I missed? I don't think so. Okay, let's check downstairs then. Whee! There's something over there. Guess more butterflies. one floating very high. And am I directly below it? Don't look up straight, that's the problem. Not there. Oh dear. Oh, maybe I gotta be on the one first. Like a higher elevation. Oh yeah. It's easier. There we go. Let's see something with a waterfall. Ah, that's high. Can we swim? Oh, we just walk on the water. Okay. Those butterflies. Maybe I do need those. Oh, there has to be something hidden up there. Even though I can't see it. Try to get a better view. Why would it be there if it weren't relevant? See anything behind it though? Weird. So you can't go up there, it seems. I use it the very moment I do my first jump. Okay, so this is closed off area. Oh, nothing there. There we go. More pickup truck. There we go. And there is something back there. That's stuck. There we go. Supposedly digging something up again? Yes.
After he drove me home from the police station, I blew up at him, saying how I never wanted to be like him, how I was gonna be someone and leave that hick icebox for good. He just looked forward at the road with tired eyes. I took out that bluegrass tape from the cassette deck and chucked it out the window. In my sage teenage wisdom, I thought I approved the ultimate point. But my dad had a different idea. He slammed the brakes, slowly bowed his head while gripping the steering wheel, and finally looked at me. All he said, like it was a polite request, was, "Make this right." I sat there in silence, fuming, but I eventually got out and combed every square inch of the woods, muttering profanity after profanity. I found it 30 minutes later, near a small waterfall off the road. I went back to the truck, put the wet tape back in, and sure enough, it worked. We didn't speak another word to each other the rest of the night.
Wow, I knew you were a crazy teenager, but...
It's hard to believe, isn't it? Surprises me too. It's like I didn't really know who that kid was back then. I bet my dad thought the same thing over and over. It's almost like he was saying, make this right, to himself, more than to me.
Okay, so where do we go now? At the map? No, of course not. Maybe back here. That's where I first tried to go, I think. Oh, this might be another level boundary. Yeah, that's a boundary. Okay. So we gotta find the exit. Steep. Didn't let me go up there. No. This is not our area then. Let me try this. It's here. If I can reach it. I think so. If I go too steep, it won't let me. Here? Yes. Oh, but I'm also blocked here. Okay. So I guess it goes on downstairs. So I came from the waterfall. This is very closed off here. Let's go back to the waterfall then.
Welcome people in the other channel. Come on over and join our chat if you like. Also please consider a follow.
Thank you for the host lightning. So hello. How you doing? So where do I go? Back to the waterfall should be the right way. Here. Thankfully we have double jumps. Okay, maybe up here.
Hello there.
Well, I just dropped on the PC, saw you online, so yeah, thanks for stopping by and for the host. Appreciate it. Almost night here. Oh, really? Oh yeah, you're a little closer to the equator. We have more daylight left. Ah, back there. See it now. this? Says class of 1999. Do I organize more butterflies then? 3 times the butterflies. Oh dear, this is gonna be interesting. Okay, how do I acquire them all? I know they are here. I don't think I can reach every point without jumping in the first place. Huh. Okay, so I don't pick these because they immediately would go back anyways. And I can jump on this. Okay, got the first one. Now I can't do jumps. I don't have the butterflies anymore. Okay. Got 2 pairs. Where's the third one? Told me to have 3. Oh, there's another light back here. Very hidden. Thought it could hide from me, but it couldn't. Oh, I can't get to this one unless I jump. Oh, maybe I can drop from this stone onto the other one without needing to jump. There we go. Okay, got all 3. Well, it's still day.
My friends would laugh about that night and talk about how crazy it was. And I laughed along, pretending it didn't bother me. But it did. I imagined my friends growing old in the bush, unable to find that thrill in those godforsaken ice fields. It's like those mountains were a literal wall, keeping me from leaving, where all I would have to look forward to are lumber yards and evening beers. I had to climb over. That was my only goal for a long time.
This one yet? No. Okay, gotta miss one. I'm sorry. Don't want to do all that again. So what are you saying? Just in a hurry to go to bed. Tired from work. I feel you. Very tired today too. What do we find here?
If there was some way I could take my love of drawing and turn it into a way of escape, nothing would make me happier. I wanted to create instead of tearing trees down. I wanted to move to the lower 48, not because I hated it there in Alaska, but I hated the idea of it. It's like all of that spite inside me had created this monster which followed me around my whole teenage years. I put so much energy into doing what others didn't expect of me. Why did I do that?
There's one fact you're forgetting, though. If you didn't have that fire in you, we probably would have never met.
You're absolutely right. Maybe the destination is all that matters in the end. Then why am I awake? Why am I seeing this fox go on her journey? And why can't I stop thinking about my dad?
Like the music, very relaxing. Yeah, that's true. And I mean, look at this beautiful graphics. It's wow. I had to stop my usual music. It's just the whole composition of it. It has to be like that. Wouldn't make sense to have upbeat music with this game. see any more lights I gotta pick up. So let's get out back there, where the smoke or steam is coming from. Are those more butterflies or are those birds? Oh, they are birds. Okay. So, something happens here. Like a cave I can get into. Oh, it was just a regular loading screen anyways. See these lights. Let's go there. Don't see any other lights yet. Oh, back there is one lighting up. Okay.
Dear Cotto wants you keep hydrated. Cheers. Dear Cotto thinks
Cheers.
you look tense, they want you to stretch your muscles.
Really? Do I look that tense? Okay. Yeah. I got a few cracks out of me. Okay. So, no, that was just the sun reflection, so there's... There? Oh, but another beautiful level. Maybe not tense, but very relaxed, so move a little. That's true. Yeah, there is something here, yes. Oh, it's jumping up and down, is it? Huh. What am I supposed to do here? Hiding from me. How does this work? What does it want me to do? Ah, there we go. Is there more than one? No. Okay, so I gotta find more of these. Where would that be? Maybe back there? I'm not certain. Good spot to scout. See what's what. Oh, there's another tent and sleeping bag. Anything else? Not yet. This music reminds me of Ori. Like Ori in the Blind Forest. Yeah, I played this before. You're kind of right. But Ori was much more intense. And I got stuck at a part where Boulder is chasing me down the hill. And I grew very frustrated with it. sun rays filtering through the trees. I love that they kind of got that sort of right in the game. Lovely. Where to? Let's check out towards the sun maybe. This forest is huge. I don't know where to go. There's a light. Okay. That direction seems to be good. Nothing up here. Gotta catch them all. And there's something back there, I see it. Another jump on the stones, I guess. And time it just right. There? Ah, here's the color one. Good. Oh, okay. So I've got to do a double jump then. There we go. Oh, here's one of these stones. Gotta catch this one again. There we go. Still don't quite have the mechanic figured out, but I gotta click in the right moment.
Even at my most distant, at the times when I detested him the most, he kept reaching out. For a year straight, he asked me every week when we were going camping. I thought he was just dense. Eventually, to shut him up, I agreed. We carried out the worn lawn chairs from the garage and set up a cinder block campfire at the site we'd always used behind the house. We walked down the mountain path, talking in the warm sunshine we only got a couple months of the year. Those 3 obsidian rocks shimmered alongside the shore, almost like sparklers pressed against a dark window. I'll never forget that wet stone on my feet, or how those massive mountains looked even bigger in the lake's reflection. I felt small, but grateful. As the sun set, my dad found something I hadn't seen for a long time. The tree where I'd made my first carving when I was 6. I hadn't even carved it. My dad had helped me, but I still called it my tree. Something about seeing my name there made me open up, and we talked about everything that night in that old camouflage tent. I told him how much I loved sketching and design, and how it would be a dream to study architecture in Seattle. I told him how I didn't get along with my friends much anymore, but that I didn't mind being alone. He told me he was there for me, and he joked that if all he had to do was write my name on a tree to finally get me to talk, he would have left me carved logs with novels on them in front of my room every morning. I don't know why it took me that long to realize it, but it was then I knew how much he had sacrificed for me.
Another passage here. There's one. Okay. Let's check it out. Good. Try again. to gauge the distance. There we go. I wonder if there's more down here. Is that? Ah. Good call. Up there. So even though the music isn't constant, at least we have like the background animal noises. Yeah, will we get up here? Yeah. There's the third one, I see it. So I guess the thorns back there now disappeared. Out of here. Nope, this was not it. Find our way through. A very large world, considering we're just a small fox. I think there was one more of these beacons that I can try and find. Light up just a moment ago. Ah, there. Oh, what's this? Stereo. Nothing back here yet. Don't think so. Back here. Something standing out. Oh, fence. Does it say no trespass? Okay. But I'm a fox and I can't read. How do I get up there? Ah, I guess.
We were happiest underneath the evergreens. We decided it was time to finally map out the hundreds of acres we lived on just to pass the time during the summer. He was only free in the evenings, so I would spend the day wasting time on dial-up internet and sketching, and then we would rush into the woods, pen and map in hand, before evening fell. Sometimes the aurora borealis would cast a cold green glow on the mountainside, and we would finish our route underneath a twilight sky. Sometimes I was lonely during those summer days, but there was comfort in the routine.
A lot of teenagers aren't looking for the daily grind, though. There's nothing wrong with wanting to get out, to leave your childhood home. You wanted to progress, to make something of yourself.
Yeah, you're right. That house. I'm sure it's the same as how I left it. But then why does it feel so different?
I doubt you're the only adult to have looked back and asked that question.
Is this the right spot, or do I have to go further? I see it. Move it up. Okay, so I gotta get higher. Okay. There's a passage. Here's my way. Okay, we are progressing towards the right direction. There's something in between. And get back up here. Huh, there we go. The game helped me a little. Won't let me. Try again. I'm stuck here now. Sure, I hope not. Right. Okay, there has to be another way to reach it. Fall down. Maybe back here? This might be it. There we go. Where is this? All the way down there. Okay. Thought it would be higher. Okay, as always mistaken. Okay, so I gotta jump down the ravine. Can't be helped. Oh, I was back here already. I remember now. Why did this light up again? Strange. Maybe because it wanted me to go this direction. Need to find out of this maze somehow. And there's like a path that cleared because we found these 3 light up stones. Might be back here. Okay, so it's still shining. That's weird. I was sure there was something there. This is like the game's way of telling me that there is an important stone or something. Okay, so where was that thorn thicket where I couldn't get through? Guess it was further that way. It's a sketch. Where's the exit? There's the other light up stone that I already got. This isn't it, right? That's the direction I came from, I think. Let's check it out anyways. Oh. Good thing that we do, because there are more lights. Hello? Please don't get stuck. There. Still going the right way? I'm uncertain. Might be. Jumped off there, perhaps? Oh, what's that? Blueprints. Exactly do I go? Go here then. Good. It looks like an opening. There's a point of interest. Yeah, I guess I wasn't here before. Like a log cabin.
property, there were old abandoned pieces of a shed and car long left unused. I used to ask him all the time who those people were that left all this junk, and I'm sure he got so tired of hearing it that he made up some elaborate stories how a brown bear ate them and haunted the woods afterwards. What's funny is I think it made those people seem more real. Growing up thinking they were still hanging out like they couldn't say goodbye. I used to tell my friends how I could swear I saw spirits move near the water, and that always freaked them out. I guess it didn't bother me, because the way I saw it, they were normal people with old cars and sheds, just trying to figure out how to survive and be happy in the middle of nowhere. It was a cool thought that they didn't want to leave, but you know, I was a weird kid.
Well, you had good company since those ghosts like living in a place where they were brutally devoured.
I think it's just the light up stone again. Why is it pointing me towards it again? Yeah, that's the one that I already got. Ah, there's the thicket. Okay. Now I see it. And there's another tiny light, which we now have. Did I miss anything? I don't think so. Let's continue. Oh?
The perpetrator stood nearby, unfazed, like nothing was wrong.
Good friend
My
or
dad
foe?
is dead, and he's never coming back, Rachel. I can tell you these stories, but I can never reminisce with him again. He can never hold a
Like a
grandchild that we'll probably never be able to have. I can never talk to him again, and I'll never be able to say I'm sorry for everything.
One of the kids is dead. Was this you? Did you attack my kid? Bad wolf, come back.
The La Grandeur method once you keep hydrated. Cheers.
Cheers. Oops. But 2 of our 3 cubs already are dead.
Hello there.
Found them dead. Guess we can imagine the fate of the third. Dread finding out what happened.
to go to bed. I just can't talk about this anymore. Good night.
Comments on at me when playing the game with this amazing music. Ah, that's true. I love the music in this game. Very well fitting. And the way out of this is forward. See nothing else. And 36 a.m. That's very early. It's already 7:37 p.m. now. Oh. Ow. I have no idea where to go.
Joseph, you can't go to sleep feeling like this. I'm sorry for everything, and I know you need space, but I'm here for you. You don't need to feel so lost. Joseph, have I ever told you what my mother was like?
Here.
You know what it's like not to have a mom at home. And you know how hard that made my childhood. What helped me was watching the birds in the morning before the school bus came. I thought that my mother was one of those birds, and it made me want to be free like her. My mom taught me how to fold origami cranes while she was in the hospital. So I told myself I would fold one every day until I could fly myself. I think we both have always loved animals, and for me that love started with a dog. Sometimes this Rottweiler would come up to our property line and wait at the fence for me, but only once in a while. I was sure to check every day immediately after school, and it usually ended in disappointment. I would even steal money from my passed out dad just so I could buy these off-brand dog biscuits. Even when she did stop by, she never went beyond the fence. Why was she so scared? I think my dad was the opposite of your dad in almost every way, except he was in the military as well. He coped with alcohol of every kind. The trailer started falling apart, he got angry, and I withdrew. More and more I became the weird, quiet kid who made lots of origami birds and carried dog biscuits around. I think we were pretty similar when it came to being the weird kids. And that same sincerity in college was one of the reasons I was so drawn to you. Life got worse and worse, and at one point, I really didn't think I could survive another day with my soul still intact. I had no real friends, let alone neighbors, since we lived in the middle of nowhere. I should have talked to my teacher, but I was scared what he would do if he found out. As I waited for the school bus one morning, I walked around until I found something in an abandoned shed. Something I can't put into words. I summoned courage I didn't know I had, and I broke into my dad's room and found the key to the shed where he had locked my bike. I'll never forget that feeling. The wind rushing by my ears as the sun rose over fields of wheat. I was flying for the first time. I biked as far as my legs could take me until I found a house that felt friendly, and that felt like home. Those strangers helped me in so many ways. And if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have found my foster family. And if it wasn't for my parents, I wouldn't have met you. You have strength, Joseph, and you're not as alone as you think.
It's all just so pointless. Just waiting for life to happen. It's like having the home I always wanted is cursed out of my reach. The thought of being a parent myself. How could I do that when I couldn't even be a good son? I'm sorry. I know what you're saying. I just don't know how things will work out. These quiet hours will turn into years. We'll wonder which roads passed us by.
Then we'll forge a new road together. Besides, I discovered for myself that one fateful morning where any hopeful road leads to. There may be thorns and mist, but it always leads to the same thing.
And what's that?
Family.
I'm so glad that you're part of my family, Rachel.
And I'm glad you're part of mine.
It's raining.
The fox knew her last cub would be waiting for her at the first tree. She was almost there. The rain cascaded onto the jade valley where the entrance to the tree was. Life was protected there, because that's where life began. It was now only a mother and a daughter left. Items from my life still dotted the ground as she moved closer to her destination and destiny.
Hello there.
Leo, hi. Something here.
At the end of high school, I felt something I hadn't felt in a long time. Drive. I looked into the best architecture schools on the West Coast, then got a dose of reality when looking at other students' portfolios and the high cost of tuition. I still wanted to be something, to be the next Alvaro Siza, and to make those thousands of sketches worth something in my grand history. But now even an internship sounds impossible. Siza helped me understand how essential emotion is in architecture, and he also said light is the real composer of space. I like to think these glints of light, like not finding a job or even a strange dream about a fox, are something I should be thankful for, even if the illuminated space is something I'm less than comfortable with.
This is just so pretty here. Props to the designers of this level and all the others. Where to now? See anything? Something lighting up there. Yeah, but can I get up there? Get up here? Not yet. Oh. Slipping down. This faint glimmer. Did I see something light up back there? No. Must have imagined it. Last look. No, there is something there. Okay. I'm gonna go there and then check back out on this hillside. Ambulance. Or was it just the ambulance itself? No. Gotta make my way back there. Here. Yeah. Yeah, I think it was here where I got out last time, right? Or maybe a little further. Okay, now where is that special spot that I saw? Ah, there it is.
Was that the last time you talked to him?
No, I called on holidays, and he would call on my birthday. I guess we acted like nothing ever happened, which was stupid. Didn't want to ask about his lumberyard, and I'm sure he didn't want to ask about my job search. I never went back and visited. I think the last conversation we had was about what movies we had seen and what exactly a best boy is in the credits. I thought he would be here so much longer.
There were two people in the picture, but it was very hard to make out who was who. Maybe it's the narrator, maybe someone else. Sense of impending doom. There is a third kid.
is gone.
You're going to see him and be with him one last time before you say goodbye. I have one last quote for you by Emerson, sealed in an imaginary letter from me to you. It is the secret of the world that all things subsist and do not die, but only retire a little from sight and afterward return again. Go to sleep, my love. We have a big day tomorrow, but I'll be there with you every step of the way.
Thank you. Thanks for listening. Good night, Rachel.
Good night, Joseph.
Yeah, now a person. Oh dear. That's okay. Go home. Voice. Ah. Looks like we're expecting a kid. When they do a jump scare, I will punish them. Yeah, me too. Can deal with that. We do go outside then. This is the area where we started. Where am I going? As well. Beautiful. Going forward this way. Supposed to go somewhere else then. Here? Oh. Still says no trespassers. Yeah, can't go through here, right? Blocked off there. What now? Through here? No. Also another path. And this one. Where am I going? Oh, now everything is built. What we saw broken down earlier. Weapon, car. So far I can't interact with anything. The path. Fence here. We can't go past it. Okay. We go up here. Yeah. What's the end? Maybe this way? Can't go down further. Huh. Okay. So the only path is back up. There. Okay, so we're kind of locked in here. Am I supposed to wake her up maybe? Don't see myself doing anything else. No, nothing works. What is it? Do I do something in the kitchen? No. What is this? Did I miss something obvious then? Can I sit here? No. Can I put a log on the fire? No. Weird. There has to be something happening out here. Oh! Can I drive the car? No. That car has seen better days. Ladder? Yeah. Trash. No double jump this time. What is it that I'm supposed to do? Any of the tools? No. Okay, right mouse button is zoom. I forgot about that. Okay, still the run option. Okay, let's check out the area again. There must be something. Maybe it only triggered because of the garage opening or something. Ah, okay, I'm supposed to go to the tent. Now it tells me. Where's the tent? Find the tent. Find the tent. The tent. Back here now. And? That it? No, that's a rock. Oh, where was it? I guess I'm blind. Put down here then. Ah, yes. There it is. Okay. What do we do? We go inside. Okay. But why?
What the hell?
The fox. Why are you dropping knives? Yeah, Buttspot has made an appearance. Classy as ever. Taking me. Beautiful game. Oh, I'm gonna BRB for a bit. Just a moment. We are stuck on a creature. Okay. Creature, please. I'm having fun. Target lock. Shoot. Okay. That was Like, interesting.
Wow, Lolly, you're an idiot.
Okay. That was
Astronomers got tired watching the moon go around the Earth for 24 hours. They decided to call it a day.
like interesting.
Wow, Lolly, you're an idiot.
You broke the BRB. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I just had a drink. Needed that. Good dad joke. Astronomers got tired of watching the moon go around the Earth for 24 hours, so they decided to call it a day. Okay. Yeah. Wow. Hi. Wow, that really hit close to home. I didn't expect that. Right. I need something else to take my mind off this currently. What shall we play? How about some Valheim? I think I can go for that. It's different. Okay. Right, let me find a new title and change the game. And let's have music.
I'm gonna skip my breaks. I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna skip my breaks. I'm gonna make mistakes. Try not to hold me down. Feel alive when I'm in
Title. I think it may be time for an after-work nap. Kiona, enjoy your nap. An after-butt nap.
Hello there.
Lovely. Why have I not seen that Ghost in the Shell poster before? Maybe because I had the background blurred and you couldn't see it. You love it. Good. Hello, Revi. How are you? We've just had a very intense game of the first tree. In case you haven't played it, it's really tugging at your heartstrings. It was free on Epic a while ago, in case you want to check that out. I won't spoil anything. A very intense, story-driven game. Okay, currently jumping into Valheim. Just thinking of a good title. Can't think of a title. The question of the day I know nothing about. Yeah, me neither. I have no idea on fashion trends. Usually I just go with what lies top in my closet and yeah. Work my way through the stack. I have no thoughts on fashion trends and their impact of whatever. Right, title. Valheim. There. I'd have to say, I think new media trends have have the biggest impact over all of them. For instance, TikTok or whatever it's called, or Instagram. Could be. But suggestion, insert title. Title suggestion, insert title. Well, we got one now. Okay, let's open up that game. Okay. The younger generation feeds on those versus any of the others, I think. Could be. As I was saying, I have not followed any fashion trends. I have no idea what fashion is about. Most of what I see when I look at articles and there is by chance anything mentioning fashion, it usually looks shit to me. Yeah. What can I do? Hello. Would you please pick up the game? I'm already in it. OBS. Okay, maybe I need to start the game. Not having it. Okay, wait. So select world. Have I selected the right character? No. Gotta go with my stream character. There. Ah, now it picked up. Only took a hot minute. Right, so where did I leave off last time? I was picking up... I was trying to pick up my body. Died again, tried to pick up my body. I think died again, picked up that body. I think now it's better to level up first before I have another go at that. I have 3 bodies here. Okay, or maybe 2. I'm not sure if I removed one of the markers. Failed to remove one. And we found some stone back there. We found some other loot that I haven't checked out totally. And what is currently my status? Let's have a look at the things. We are wearing leather already. That's good. With a flint axe. Okay. Gotta get better weapons. So what would be the best thing? A hammer is not that great of a weapon. Have I built a hoe yet? I don't think so. That would be for making fields and stuff. Or do I have one in my inventory somewhere? Oh, I do have one. Okay. Farmer's tool for working the earth. Yeah, I could build a field with that. Okay. Right. And can I upgrade anything? No, because I don't have enough leather and or bone scraps, I think. Oh, stone is in there as well. That makes no sense. Let's have it the same. There. Start the wood. Trophies. Okay, so that's the first bone stuff that I have. Alright. And I don't have any like pig's leather whatsoever. Okay, so store that for now. This ember pearl. Oh, we can trade with that. Okay. Put that in here. Okay. We got food with us, so that's okay. And I think we can also store the flint for now. Right, let's find some piggies and collect leather of them. Are the bees happy? Yes, the bees are happy. Good. That what? No point making? Aww. It's not the best points though. So, who was it that scored 98 points today? We do have a first place. Don't see any piggies. It's weird. Where have they gone? There they are. Alright, there we go. Got some good leather out of that. Are there more? I knew that deer just ran away. I can't do anything about that. Okay, let's see. What do you mean by interesting? Before you dropped? Hello there. Oh, there's a drop here. Okay. Ooh. Good thing I missed him. There's a troll. Travis emote? Oh yeah. That is true. That looks interesting. Put in here. Just the neck. Grab him. Has he seen me? No, I don't think so. Okay, let's not get too close to him. Because I think the way trolls work is that they stay inside the dark forest. And they don't really come to the meadows unless provoked. Oh, deer saw me. Oh well, I'm looking for pigs anyway.
I wanna hold you close, but you know my mind is torn up. I never thought it'd be like this. But like a broken record,
Don't see any pigs around. That's weird. Am I doing something wrong? I love this song so much, that's why I put it in my playlist. It's I haven't heard it much, but it's already one of my favorites. Nothing in there. Hello, dear. Oh, there's another. Good. Maybe I can grab the second one. Let's regain some stamina first. Oh, something's running out here. There we go, everything topped off. I was running against the wind, wasn't making any sounds. Okay, then it's you. Bye. It's your fault anyway. Okay, this is still meadows. Good. So no risk of trolls here. And piggy. Very good. How much piggies do we have? 3. 3 is not enough. Gotta find more piggies. And again, this game is beautiful. Can't see any piggies here. But let's explore. I haven't been here before. A new part of the map that's still meadows, which is nice. Play it natural. That's so behind my camera. Must resist. Must not sub to get Shiba emotes. Oh! Yes, the Shiba Inu. Very cute. There's something here. Just go. Take. Okay. Will I run across pigs eventually? That's the question. It's great that all of this is meadows, but if there are no pigs in the meadows, what is the meadows even worth? Look at the map. Ah, okay, so we are circling around here. Interesting. Haha. Christ, yeah. What was the game you played before? The First Tree, it's called. I have it for free on Epic. And I'm not sure if it's on other platforms as well. Oh, there's a grave here. So I suppose there could be bones? Maybe not. Too bad. This world is free of pigs. I'm not sure what the problem is. Why there are no pigs here? Let's discover more of the map. Is that something helpful? And it's all still meadows. Let's go south. Ah, the deer song. Don't think I can catch up to it. Nope. Oh, maybe I can, actually. If you gotta stop to hit it, I guess you can. Oh, but it's running right at me. Ah, come on. Don't be like this. There we go. Oof. Did I hear anything? Or was that just me? Just the grayling. Okay, let's check this area out. We haven't been here before. All still meadows, that's good. You do see some other trees there, so that's the dark wood. And I realize I'm very far away from home, so let's hope I don't die. That water down there. Why, yes it is. Okay. Good thing we've discovered a shoreline. Much easier to run by. Okay, and this one is leading into Black Forest. Yes. Okay, and he's throwing stones at me. Okay. Good. Okay, that worked. Going the other direction though. Maybe we'll find some pigs that way. Hello, Nick. Ooh. Abandoned building again. Very good. There's something in it. Yes. Torch and arrow. Nice. No railing. Could you please not move? I wanna kill you. Now I'm all wet. Look at that. No, it saw me. Even though it didn't react at first. Okay. Can I still get it? No. Okay. That's a problem. I'm already taking damage here because I'm out of stamina. Okay, so the deer swim over. I can swim over too. Let's see who's better. There we go. Good one. Okay. And there is another part of meadows over there. Wonder, could I reach it? Not terribly far. But it would be very far away from home. So I'm not gonna go there. Okay, let's go along the coastline again. Hope it doesn't smell me. Very good. And here's a pig. And there's a grayling as well. Gonna punch you to death if I have to. There. Okay, I realize my arrangement here could be better. Let's also take a torch. Yeah, that's good. Because it's getting dark. Okay, and then I see pine trees, so there's dark forest ahead. And just before I go into the dark forest, I will turn right. And I already see great wolves looking for trouble. And they're after me, of course. Very good. That went better than expected. They fear fire. Okay. Where is it not dark forest anymore? Over here. And we're cold. Of course we are. I should probably walk home. How far away is it? Oh, it's only across the road. Nothing serious. At least as long as we have a torch, we should be fine. In theory. I'm not sure about that, but at least it's my working theory. And if we're especially lucky, we may find some pigs along the way. And no public transport in sight. Yes, and we haven't discovered portals yet. So we have to go the old-fashioned. Or this way. At least we improve some skills. Okay, so how much thick skin do we have? Not that much. It'd be lovely to find more piggies. Can't be that hard. Well, actually it can. Oh, that's not good. Going straight through the dark forest, yeah. Oh, that's the edge. Okay. Let's have a look. Yeah, we're still heading for home. And so far we haven't been attacked by nasties. Shortcut through the forest? I think so. Just force just a little, but I think I want to stay out in the open for now. Easier to spot enemies. Huge tree. Oh, piggy. Hello. Oh, piggies are scared of fire, I forget. Okay, we've gone a little off course. Now we have to go straight east. Light again. Very good. One surprise tree. Deer? Gotta catch it. Hope that the wind is on my side. That don't smell too bad. Seems to be what? Ah, I missed it. Is there a possibility we can aim now? Somewhere over there. Why didn't I fully kill it with one hit? Usually I do. That's weird. Stupid deer. But yeah, I figured out that my home here basically is too small, so if I wanna like increase my base, I really need to build somewhere else. Even though this looks very nice with stones around the house, I guess it's not the final place where I build my base. Oh yeah, I wanted to upgrade some tools. Thing available. We would need flint. Okay, we do have flint. We have enough flint. I think so. Hold on, let me store some things. Oh, there, money. What I was looking for. I do have one part of skeleton there. I have to organize this better as well. As I basically have no good sorting algorithm for this. Okay, so I needed flint. Is there flint left here? Or did I harvest it all? Oh. Need more resin. To fill up the torch. Yo, please. There we go. Any other torch out of resin? Yes, this one. Okay, there is flint. Good. You flint as well, yes. More flint? Let's go. Guess I gotta check along the coast to find more flint. Oh, we need food. Let's eat some of that. And would you not? I'm in the middle of something. Flint, flint, flint. Oh, there's flint. Good. I wonder if flint just respawns after a while, or if it's gone from the world once you've picked it up from a place. How much do I have? 7. I guess I could upgrade one thing. One thing is not enough. I do have that flint axe. Oh, I'm not carrying much out of flint. Okay. Maybe I don't need that much more, but I do want to have a small stockpile in case. Oh, piggy! Hello. Fancy running across you here. Just what I was looking for. Hey, Nick, I'm not fancying you. Okay. Magic Dragon Sword plus 9 soon. You think so? I think that's a long way off. Flint. Okay, how much have I got? 10. Okay, I think I'm gonna go for 12 or 15 and then go back to base. Flint. Involuntary swimming lesson there. Okay, that should be good now. How much do we have? 15. Okay, that's alright. So it's back to base along the coastline. And there's a pig. Okay. Guess we're hunting pig again. If it's just sitting here so voluntarily. Oh, nearly punched it to death. That's good. Punching skills are nice to have. Unarmed combat is something I haven't really explored in this game. But it's okay. Gotta have some good base damage. Oh, there's a deer. Where's the wind coming from? Maybe it'll see me because of my wetness. Maybe it won't. Ah, shut the fuck up. Of course it saw me because I was hitting her neck. There we go. Okay. Now let's have a look what we can upgrade. Sooner or later we should have enough strength to actually improve upon our weapons and finally make that run towards the corpse. Okay, so we don't have enough leather to upgrade the bow. Don't have the right level to upgrade the flint axe. We don't have enough bone to upgrade our clothing. And our helmet. Okay. Do I have the possibility of building a spear? Yes. No, I don't have enough flint for it. I do. That should be enough. Hell yes. Okay. Here could be a good idea to have. At least better than a club. Let's put the club away. We can go clubbing another day. And we do have different arrows. Probably equip those because they do more damage. That's 18 to 16 and that's just 7 to 13. Yes, okay. Still have the leathers. Oh, and we have so much meat to take care of. Okay, I gotta build at least one more. What's it called? Cooking station. Okay. Take some of that wood that I have in here. Should be quicker when I have one more. Don't think that I can get another one. Oh, I can. Cool, so I can place one there. And I can place one next to the fire. Oh, okay, that one is too far away. Alright. Can I cheese it? I think this one could be moved just a little. And now it could work? Yes! Very good. Now we are cooking efficiently. And I don't think we can light ourselves on fire as easily as before. Just gotta make sure that I'm not producing coal. Okay, good. That. Thankfully, our cooking station is not catching fire. Where there is a will, there is a way to set themselves on oneself on fire. Yeah, that's true. And I have done that on multiple occasions, haven't I? All the meat. Has anyone ever tried to live like a vegetarian in Valheim? Is that possible? Could you theoretically live off like honey and mushrooms and berries? Or is that practically impossible because of the like stamina requirements and stuff later in the game? Okay, finally everything cooked. Thankfully cooked items don't go bad. Okay, have I got everything now? Yes. Alright. So let's exchange this for a protein-rich diet. I did that because I was too lazy to hunt. But how did you get leather? Okay, gotta rearrange here. So food goes in here. Let's take out these. Food. Okay. That's good. That can go into food, I think. Crafting. I'm not sure. I haven't found that out yet. I can't rename chests, but I can build signs. Let's go with stones and amber and stuff in here. And resin. Coal can be in stone as well. Do I take feathers? Yes, I take feathers. Okay. Did I forget anything? No. Okay. Up here is the tool chest. Let's take out those. Do I have any tools to store? Yes, I have another torch that I don't need. Okay, now I need a chest that is for like trophies maybe. Build one next to it. Yeah, and I think I can arrange this in a way like there is a sorting of thoughts. Haha, that was a good word. Can I place another like shelf close to that? No, that's not happy. Okay, can I place a small one then? Okay, up there is possible, but not possible down here. How have I built this? There we go. This was aiming right. Okay, and we are going for more chests. There we go. Okay, lovely. Let's put trophies in this one. That's not actually a trophy. Okay. And food goes in here. Or do we have another one? Food. I forget already. Oh no, we had one for food. Okay. Good, so we can have one for crafting. That's crafting. Sort of crafting? Yeah, we haven't planted trees yet. Crafting. Gold? Sure, why not crafting? Okay. Now, that's much better. Okay. Let's look at what we have there. Do we take more with us? No, 10 is fine. Right, let's eat all that. Okay. We gotta find... What did I say I wanted to upgrade, which I didn't have? Oh, right, I need the next upgrade for this, basically. Don't I have that yet? I'm guessing. Huh. So I have the upgraded hammer. Why can't I build what I need? Oh, maybe I haven't found the right ingredients yet. That could be it. I have the tanning rack and the chopping block. That's currently everything that I can do. Maybe it's like something to do with stone that I need to find. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. And what do we do now exactly? Okay. Probably upgrading our stuff. So maybe locate some skeletons so that we can have more bone fragments. Oh, and leather scraps and flint for the flint. No, that's also the station that I don't have. Okay. Crude bow. Okay, bow requires leather scraps, deer and wood. Of which I have... Where did I put the crafting stuff? Here. I do have enough deer, I don't have enough leather scraps, I do have enough wood. Okay, let's find piggies then. Find piggies and maybe skellies. Okay. I did that after I had no need for leather anymore. Ah, yes, of course, because once you've upgraded past that, you get like different armor that is not leather based. That is true. I think like iron armor or something is in the cards sooner or later. Or tin, I'm not sure. I found different things along the way, but I have not yet been able to harvest them because I don't have the pickaxe, is I think what I need. Oh, I can't just skip the opportunity of killing a deer. Very good. That's a one hit. Every one of these is supposed to be like that. The spot that I haven't discovered yet on the map. Let's also do that.
Laughing with my friends under the sky. Following our hearts, so then we take a ride. Wherever I always try to let my spirit fly.
So now gotta try to find skeletons without finding trolls. It's not that easy, I think. And of course I feel cold. Why didn't I make this with long sleeves? Okay, so this is basically the meadows area. Let's go further south. I think there we will find Joey's. Oh, hey. Nope, couldn't catch it. Sorry. Piggy. Piggy! And the third one. Good thing I came this way.
Here's what I like.
Give me your leather scraps.
That is almost too high. Laying on the grass, I close my eyes. Playing my guitar to my fingers and numb. Oh, I always try to let my spirit fly away. That's the only way to get that high.
Heard something. What was it?
If you're looking for trouble, you better count on it. I will give you a struggle, give you a struggle. If you're looking for trouble,
Yeah.
will push your bubble. Yeah,
An enemy, I think.
'cause I don't wanna fight pieces for
Up here.
I'm not back in
Ooh, thick.
If you
Oh, this is the meadows. Okay. Didn't realize the meadows were that big here. Oh. Guess I can find more piggies and deer there. And oh, there's a large, like, settlement or something. What is in here? Broken bed. Oh, hello. Would you like to meet your Lord and Savior, the Axe?
walking hand in hand on the ocean floor.
Check out the other buildings for loot. Twin beds and a chest. Hell yes. That coin. Up here. More chests. Gimme. Came out of this one, right? Yeah. Good. So there is that one back there. It also has items. What? This one is small. I don't think it has chests. No, it doesn't. And I've been in this one. Okay. Hello, Grayling. Can I ask you a question? There's a pig. Night is dark and full of terrors. Okay, so there is an island, or maybe a river, something here. Let's check that out. Oh, here's a drop that I missed. War meat. Okay. Oh, are we having delay again? Was that just laughing for the X, or was that for something else? The tarot. Ah, yes, of course. Very watery here. Interesting. There's a shack. Does it contain anything? It contains a pig. 2 pigs even. Very good. And a neck. That's a very good drop here. Nice. Anything in the tag? No. But still, that was good. That was good. Okay, so there is this lake here. And there are piggies over there. Very good. Okay. Let's try to conserve some stamina while we run up to them and kill them. Woof, woof. Very good.
You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. You always thought that you
Oh, it's like neck family gathering here.
yeah, you better step into the light, just give it a try. Think that it's time you let that spark out. You've been
Good.
hiding in the shadows way too long.
Some necktails.
And who cares if you might
Still no skellies though. So I gotta venture somewhere else. But first of all, I wanna see how the map connects. So let me go west for a bit. Nearly messed it up.
You shouldn't doubt yourself, 'cause you're a work of art. You should know that
So I don't run into a tree. And boom! Good. Nearly let it run away.
step into the light, just give it a try. Know that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long.
Lake again. Okay. Skelly! Yes! Very good. Railing, go away. Give me your loot. Okay, did I get the Skelly stuff? Yes. And is there grave here? Yes. Okay. So, east to complete the map. Any more skellies? No? And it's already morning. Wow. We've been hunting all through the night. And how much space have we got left? Much. Alright. Let's go a little more south-ish. Try to expand our map as good as possible. There are buildings back there. Okay. There's at least one. Okay, gotta check it out. Could be large enough for a chest. And it indeed has one. Very good. Oh, indeed buildings. There is another. Please be good loot. Oh well. Arrows? Not too bad. Not too bad. Hello, railing. Could you not? There. No use trying to hit on 0 stamina. That won't work. Also, I have like no idea when I will be strong enough to summon Eikthyr and kill it. But I do know that my skills are not good yet. Okay, finally we are reaching the Dark Forest. Let's try and find some skellies now. How far away from home is this? Not far at all. Oh, blueberries. Them before? Yeah, I think so. It's too peaceful here. I know something bad is gonna happen soon. This shimmering. Oh, that's copper. Okay. Carrot seeds. Nice! Oh. Good deer scared off. Don't harvest copper yet. Should I mark this? There's no enemies around. Okay, let's mark it. Oh, there's a troll. Not going that way. No chance against troll. Did it see me? No? Good. And there's a spawn of some sorts. I saw it just a moment ago. What does it spawn? Could be... interesting? Grave nest. Oh, there we go. Oh, that was easily destroyed. But I am poisoned. Ancient seed and buke berries. Oh, now I get it. Buke berries. Puke berries. I'm so stupid. It took me like ages. Hidden deposit. Oh, cool. Can't harvest that either. Buke berries. Oh man. I was today years old. Oh, I did not realize that. Really? I mean, it tells you that they are worth for quickly evacuating a meal. So it's like easy to make that connection, I think. But of course, the problem is gotta think of the right thing in the right moment. Each there. Try not to run into trolls. Good. Why do we have to be wet? Ah, and here's coastline. Okay. So is that the extent of our island then? I guess it is. Okay. Yeah, that's the open ocean, alright. So let me try to find a way towards relative safety. We are not yet being followed, which is good. Okay, so I've been to this coast a little, but not that much. Alright. And still continue charting this area. While also looking for goals. Not run into tin again, okay. Guess copper and tin are the next materials that we need for crafting, but so far I haven't progressed to a place where I can use them. Because I can't mine them. I mean, the Black Forest is still kind of nice. It's like... oh, I can't pick it up. The thistles. Do I want to get rid of anything else? Wood. Thistles are better than wood. Oh, there's a spawner there. Let's see if there's anything else around that could be nasty. No? Good. This time I wanna try to use bow and arrow. Oh, it's a brute fuck. Don't think that was a good call. Yeah. That's now coming towards me. Shit. Okay. Try with nope. Okay, that's not good. Let's try to get away. Food is not great. Can't eat any more of that. And our health is not good. Gotta heal first before I do anything else. That was not wise. It's still behind me. It isn't. Just a regular Great Dwarf. Okay, I can take a Great Dwarf. Okay, and there's the biggie. Nope. Not staying around to chat. Too bad. But I could maybe eat the same thing again to just fill up. But I can't. Let's go after me. Nope. Okay, I think we're good. And health is filling up slowly, which is also nice. Now let's try to find a way home. I don't want to die out here. But first, let's be in the meadows before we walk. Okay, good. And the direction is kind of right.
I'm a sucker for your love, even though it's kind of toxic, babe. You know I feel it when we touch. That your love is from a different place. It's toxic, babe.
Stop running away. I want to hit you. Oh, hello. What are you? 2-star Great Wolf. What the fuck? Who allowed that? Okay. Guess there is some killing involved. Hell yes. Okay, that's all that wood. Okay, don't need to pick up the wood. I have enough of that at home. Okay. Nearly died many times. Guess I'm done with that. And it's close to 10. Yeah. I think I'm ending a little early today. Just needed to take my mind off the other game. And I think I do really need to venture into the Dark Forest in order to progress. Because here I don't find skellies. And therefore I can't upgrade anymore. Do I have room for that deer? Yes, I do. Don't think it'll work because the wind is behind me. Yeah, it ran away already. Can I get it to panic and run back at me? That would be nice. Oh, hello. Calling forth the beast. You have found the summoning place of one of the Forsaken. Make the correct offering at their altar and they will come. Be wary though that the Forsaken are not easy prey. So craft a wicked weapon, don your finest armor, eat a hearty meal before engaging them in combat. Oh yeah, cool. Let's mark that spot. Summon. Thanks, bye. Okay, and west towards Homestead. Maybe I'll build the next base on a hill or something. That could be a better place than the coastline. I still may keep that coast building if I ever want to build a harbor. But I do have to travel too much to go back here. So that's not ideal. Okay, let's check out what we can do. Repair everything, of course. Upgrades. Oh, bone fragments are a problem. Yes, of course. wood and flint. Do I have one more flint? Where did I put my stones? Hello, could you not? Saw you. You were moving around. What's up with that? I do have one more flint. Good. Okay. Now, wood. Do I have space for wood? No, not even a little. Okay. Let's move some things around. Guess these berries go in here too. And the thistles. Oh, there's always a fork behind it if it's edible, so that's not edible. Okay. Guess I'll put that in here. Cool, cool, cool. Okay, seeds can be semi-edible. Not sure what I need ancient seeds for. Let's put them in there. Where are my trophies again? Here. Okay. So I got nearly everything sorted out, and now we need the wood. Okay, what can we do? We can upgrade the crude bowl. Good. And flint spear just needs more wood. That's fine, we got that. Oh. So 2 more upgrades done. Flint axe requires the next station, which I don't have. Okay, so I guess I will train with a spear a little the next time because that has more damage. Oh, actually it doesn't. The flint axe has more damage than the spear. Okay, so maybe it's a ranged thing then. Cool. Throw that in there. Where is everything? Crafting? Yeah, crafting. Okay, that. Oop. And there's food. Here. Oh, I don't have space for that. Okay, guess I'll put food in here just because there's no room. Alright. And done. Let's find someone to raid. Oh, so Timo was playing Valheim. Interesting. Okay. Haven't raided Timo in ages. We could go there. And yeah. Let's do that. Alright, let me enter that. Raid Timo _ Red Beard. He's playing Darkheim, so that's a Valheim mod, apparently. Right? Oh wait, that's too early. Okay, didn't I make any spelling mistakes? Beard. Good. Okay. Thank you all for being here today. I had a lovely time, and I will be streaming again on the weekend, Saturday, usual time at 3 p.m. And yeah, so Darkheim is kind of a mod that incorporates Dark Souls elements into Valheim, which I find kind of interesting, but it's not for me personally. Alright, don't forget to follow me on my socials. Posted them in chat. Thank you all for being here, for lurking, for chatting, and experiencing a very different game, and then some Valheim. Alright, bye y'all. Have a nice evening.